Hello, and we're back. Okay, so I just made a post for people to join the stream. I'll also make a post so people can watch it if they want. And then, yeah, if you want to see what Jordan's doing. But, anyways, to add to that conversation, have you heard of that show on Netflix called Sweet Tooth?
No.
Okay, so I started watching it last week, and there's 3 seasons, and it looks like they filmed all three in like the past year. And so I'm already on season 3, but it's kind of like they took the concept of COVID and then made this whole story about how there's like this virus that pretty much wipes out everybody on the planet. And so it's kind of like this post-apocalyptic world, and everybody's just like fighting to survive out in nature. But then what happens is like, because of the virus, women that are pregnant, they give birth to these like hybrid human animal babies, and like the government is trying to capture them because like their DNA has like the cure for the virus. And so it's
Yeah.
about like these little hybrid children that are trying to survive, and it's so interesting. But it's kind of like they're trying to make the point of like, well, nature is reclaiming itself, and the because they have human and animal DNA, they're not here to destroy the planet. There's like a whole bunch of different stories within the basis of the show, but it's really interesting. But I feel like I mean, I don't know if it was a book, or I don't know who wrote the show, but it kind of seems like it's loosely based off of COVID. What?
Yeah, I would imagine. Has there been a lot of COVID-based media? I don't think so, but I'm surprised there hasn't been.
What do you mean, like recently?
Yeah, like I'm surprised that after COVID there wasn't like a million TV shows and movies that are all based on viruses.
I mean, I feel like there were, though. There was wasn't there one there, what was it, like a Korean movie or something? Was it?
Was
I
it that one
forget.
that won that award?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it that?
it was called like Virus or something like that.
I think it was like Parasite.
Yeah, you're right, Parasite. And everybody was mad because they think it won the award because it was like some DEI shit.
Yeah.
I never
There,
saw it.
I remember watching like a couple of shows where I forget what shows, but I think they were probably shows that had been going on, and then they incorporated COVID within the show because it was happening in real life. Actually, one of them, I used to watch a show called This Is Us with Mandy Moore, and I think there's like 8 or 10 seasons of it. And so they incorporated COVID and were just filming through it. And so they had the people with the masks in the show. I remember seeing that in a couple of different shows. But
God, it's such a bummer, the masks. That there's like 2 years now of our history where just like for example, Rob Zombie made his Monsters movie during COVID and it came out kind of toward the tail end. So most of his movies he shoots like a documentary along with the movie so that when you buy the Blu-ray or the DVD, you get to also watch like the making of the movie. It's always like
yeah,
it's like a fun little bonus thing. So I got the Monsters on Blu-ray and I was watching the making of it. And it's just everyone's just wearing fucking masks. So I'm like, oh yeah, there's just like 2 years now in American history where everyone's just wearing like stupid fucking paper masks. Like
yeah,
sometimes I'm like scrolling through YouTube shorts. Just the other day I saw one that was like Justin Bieber had like an orchestra and they were like recording one of his songs. And all
yeah.
one thing that was funny, I
I
think
think
that
I've seen that.
I thought this was the perfect metaphor for COVID. Like it perfectly embodied it.
Yeah,
All of the Nobody Orchestra were wearing masks, and Justin Bieber was up front with no mask on because he was
yeah,
fine, right?
yeah,
I thought it was the funniest thing. But yeah, it's a bummer. Now there's always gonna be like a 2 year time in American history where like oh, look at the fucking Oscars from 2020. Like, oh, why do they all have masks on? Like,
Did you ever have moments like I remember like meeting people during COVID, and then once we took the masks off in like what is it, like 2021, 22, and seeing their faces, it was actually shocking to see what was underneath there.
when I worked at the grocery store, there was a girl that worked there that I thought was really hot, and she had a mask on. And the first time I saw her without the mask, I was like, oh no, she's not really hot.
Yeah, no, I had a couple of those moments. Um, there's a thrift store near me, and I remember I'd go to that thrift store during COVID, and there was this guy that was working there, and he was always really friendly. And then I remember when we took the masks off that first time going into the store, and he had it off, and I was like, oh, because like I don't know what I pictured what was underneath there, but he had like really large teeth, and it just threw me off. I was like, we should keep him on.
It made
But
us it made us realize how important that half of the face is.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's like, even though it sucked, there was a part of me that did like wearing them because I just felt like you could just like hide, you know? I mean, I don't know, at least for like as like a female, like, I mean, I guess anybody, you could get like a pimple on your face and then it's like you can hide under there. Um, I don't know. There was kind of, yeah, there was this like hidden aspect to it that I kind of like, this like privacy, especially because like I also miss like when you would wear the masks, if people were coughing, they weren't coughing out in the open. You know, like
Yeah.
some people are just so disrespectful and they're just out there like in front of everybody. But it did suck. I remember like summer of COVID, like that shit sucked because it would be like 105 outside and then you're like sweating under this piece of fabric.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Um, it's funny. So one thing that is really funny is I swear to God, two between like 2 and 1 years before COVID,
Yeah.
I started collecting masks. Like whenever I'd go to a doctor's office, I would take a mask.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine went on a vacation to Japan. You know, in Japan, they wear masks all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when he went to Japan, he brought me back a gift, and it was a 3 pack of, they were like a cool kind of like fabric, like Japanese masks.
Yeah.
So I was like gearing up for this thing, not knowing that I was gearing up for it. But I thought it was cool because I'm like decently antisocial, but COVID beat the antisocial right out of me, and I got so like tired of not seeing people's faces. Like I'm the last person in the world that would go around being like, "Oh, I miss seeing people's faces." But during COVID, I
Yeah.
was like, "Dude, I fucking miss seeing people's faces." Like
Yeah.
that was like a time that I was like, "Oh, I guess I really do like appreciate like seeing a little old lady's face in the grocery store when she asked me to help her reach something up high." Like
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Cause yeah, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say after a while it started bumming me out.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you couldn't really hear people under those masks. It
I've
was
got
like
terrible hearing
it
too.
was like a lot of mumbling,
Yeah.
a lot of screaming and mumbling. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so here's the question. Did you go for the paper mask or the fabric mask?
No.
And did you have a printed one?
So I had 2 main masks, and they were both cloth, like rewearable, and one of them, I'm such a dirty fucking person. One of them, by the time like I realized that I needed to wash it, I would look and like it was like brown from my sweat inside of it. Like I remember I showed it to my mom. I was hanging out with my mom one day, and I was like, "Man, my mask always smells bad." And I took it off, and she's like, "Dude, it's fucking dirty. Like, wash it."
Yeah, you had to wash those things like all the time.
I'm a boy. I don't give a shit.
That was I just remember like people would be selling them on like the side of the road. Like
Yeah.
some guy would have like 50 of them with like different colors and patterns, like just tacked on a board. And then like I remember going to the mall and like all these big brands were coming out with like fashionable
Oh, they cashed
masks.
in.
Yeah, to go with like your handbag and your
Yeah.
outfit. It was nuts. But yeah, I remember like just getting like a black cloth mask on Amazon and it was just like perfect. I didn't
Yeah.
really care for like the paper ones. that you get at the doctor's office.
To my credit, my friend and I swear before we ever saw people selling masks, we were like, oh, if we were still in the band, we'd be making masks with the band logo on it right now and selling
I'm
that
sure
shit.
people did that.
Oh, I know people did. Yeah, bands sold masks. Like
Yeah.
it just be. I mean, that's why I stopped taking it seriously. It literally became a fucking fashion accessory. Like,
Yeah.
bro, they're on the news every day telling you that you need to wear these to save lives. But then over here, Gucci's selling like studded masks that match your handbag. It's like, well, which one is it? Like,
I remember I had a Kiss one.
oh, that's awesome.
You know, what's that shoot. I have to look it up. What's that photo? It's like the car, it's like a animated photo with like a purple yellow backdrop and they're like jumping in the air.
Destroyer.
Yeah, yeah, it was a destroyer.
I
I had
have
a
that.
destroyer.
I have a shirt, and I almost wore the shirt. I mean, I'll wear the shirt next week on stream.
Okay.
Yeah, they're jumping in the air. It's like the one that
Yeah.
everyone knows. Yeah, the destroyer. Yeah,
Yeah, I had a destroyer mask.
that's badass.
That was fun. And then I might have had like a Rolling Stones one too. That was fun. But then it like when you have like the brightly colored ones, it was just like draw attention.
Yeah.
So I was like, go away. But yeah, those were interesting times. But yeah, no, I mean everybody was on unemployment and it was crazy what they were giving to people.
I wish, dude. I just fucking worked. Like, I wish I did that shit though.
Yeah, it was crazy how like I remember like there was so many people trying to cause fraud within
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And then I remember I like one day I was with I think I was at I don't know where I was. I was like with some friends or something and they were saying they had spoken to a woman and it was like some ridiculous story where the woman for some reason like she didn't go on unemployment right away. She like waited like a couple of I don't know, a couple months or a couple weeks or something like that. And she had calculated from like when they initially started giving out the money to when she applied for it, like how much like they owed her. So she was trying to claim that like the government owed her $15,000 in unemployment. And they were like, you're just signing up now. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then she was trying to say, well, everybody else has been getting it. And they said, well, that's because they applied for it right away. That's not our problem. But I just thought people were so ridiculous.
Well, it was such a time of like, I'm gonna sound like my fucking grandpa, but it was such a time of like, the government owes me all this shit.
Yeah.
Everybody owes me. Like, I don't want to get sick, so you owe me fucking everything. Dude,
Yeah.
I have nothing, and like I'm the number one candidate to be a person that's like, I wish everybody would give me fucking everything because I'm a fucking bum. Like, I work for like I make less than like fast food employees, and I do like a way more dangerous job. But I don't know. I hate people that are like, dude, I would never, dude. First of all, I don't want anything from the government. I don't want the government to exist. Like, why would I want money from them?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like a huge time for people being like, well, they have to keep giving us money. And it's like, you realize it's not like you have to pay it back. Like something's going to happen. Like,
I mean, like everybody was getting like mass amounts of money. Like some of my friends were getting, I don't know, like $3,000 a week.
yeah.
Like it was crazy, which is it goes to show, they have the money. They're printing it.
Well, it comes from somewhere and they're printing it and then it comes out of, just
Yeah.
your fucking paycheck. Whatever. I'm not going to get into
But
it.
like I do remember because everybody was getting so much money. Like I would go see a friend and then they would pull up with a new car. Like people were just spending all this money on just, I mean, you couldn't really go anywhere, but they were just spending it on shit. So.
I definitely got the $1,200 the stimmy, and I definitely
yeah.
I definitely bought fentanyl with that. That was like the COVID special for me.
Didn't we get like 2 of those checks or something? I remember there was.
I feel like I got one
rounds.
for 12 and like one for 800.
Yeah, I think there was like a 12. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
I just remember
Yeah.
I just remember specifically the 12, the 1200. That was like the
Yeah.
big one.
That was the one that like it was like Trump's like big move to do that. He was
Yeah.
like everybody's getting 1200, and then I remember like everybody was like, okay, when am I going to get my 1200? And I think they had it based on like either like when you filed your taxes or your name. I think it was like alphabetical order, and so I remember people panicking like I haven't got my 1200 yet. That was so
Uh,
funny.
yeah, those are funny times.
Yeah, that was great. But yeah, I do remember the second one. I think it was about like 800. But then
Yeah,
wasn't there like a second, though there was like a third one I remember where Biden was giving out like cards?
I think so.
Like it,
I didn't do that though. I didn't get that.
I got the card. I think it was for like 300 bucks, something
What
like
a
that. Yeah.
what a tease. What do you do with 300? Honestly,
I don't know what I did with it, but I was like, I'll take it. I'm gonna say no. No, yeah, it was interesting. But interesting times. I am glad it's over, but we'll see what continues to happen.
it'll happen again at some point in our lives.
Yeah. Did you text Jordan?
Yeah,
He hasn't responded.
we're both bad at Twitter messages. Like,
Don't you have his number? I thought that's where you were communicating with him.
yeah, he sent me. I think he sent me his number. I don't know. A lot of people send me their numbers on Instagram.
Oh my
There,
god.
there's some other. I don't know. I don't like keeping people's phone numbers. I don't have my boss's phone number. Every time I have to call my boss, I have to walk into the office and grab a piece of paper with his number on it. I also don't. I don't want people having my phone numbers or
Yeah.
phone number. Jordan's cool, but I don't. I don't know. What's he? What? I don't even, he lives in Georgia. What's he gonna like text me? It's like 2 in the morning, but for him, it's
Yeah.
like, eight.
It's like 4.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like talking to people.
He might.
I have to get to know him more.
Yeah, he needs to like sit down in a chair.
That is one thing. I'll
That
clip
was
this. I'll clip this part for him. Jordan, you gotta set your phone down, and then you need to sit down and just keep talking.
relax. But he's gonna be like, I am relaxed, man.
I think he was drinking last time.
Yeah, it's okay to be young.
Yeah, I wish I could drink all the time. I think I'm drinking 4th of July weekend.
You're like planning when you're drinking next?
And my friends are planning when I'm drinking next.
Oh, okay.
And it sounds like 4th of July weekend. I was telling them that we should buy one MAGA hat,
Yeah.
and then we should all draw straws, and whoever loses has to wear the MAGA hat to the club and try to survive the night.
Oof, that's gonna be tough.
They're obviously not
But
gonna go for it.
but I mean, what are the politics near you? Is it more red?
Well,
Or
we'd be in Sacramento, and it'd be blue.
okay.
You would not survive is what I'm.
Okay.
It
'Cause
it could be more blue. You know, we're not in fucking San Francisco, but it's a bit.
yeah.
Any city is basically blue. Let's be real. But I have an American flag bandana somewhere. As you can see by the background,
Yeah.
I like it because it's like American 70s rock and roll though. That's something
Yeah.
I feel like I always have to say is I hope nobody stumbles onto the show and thinks I'm like some fucking nerd with an American like it's 70s rock and roll. That's why I like it.
If you don't say that though, like people are never gonna get
I
that.
know. That is a big fear of mine that somebody will like find this page and start commenting like you fucking conservative because I have a flag as
Yeah.
my dude. It's Leonard Skinner. Like it's Southern rock and roll. That's what I
Yeah,
like about it.
but I mean, people, young people today will never
I
understand
know.
that.
I know. I also think that in our lifetime, at some point, the American flag will be deemed like a racist thing.
Okay, I could see that.
That's totally gonna happen,
Yeah.
and I will have to defend it, not because I am a fucking American nerd, but because it's 70s rock and roll. That's all it is to me.
I feel like only Southern, well, I mean, there's a lot of like Southern rock and rollers, they would get it.
But then there's also like look at Easy Rider, 1969, the Captain America bike and the helmet. The fuck, what's the actor's name? Oh, I feel
Oh,
terrible.
an Easy Rider?
Yeah, not Dennis Hopper, Peter Fonda.
Yeah.
Peter Fonda. He wears the yeah. It used to be like hippies used to wear American flags. Like it just looks cool. Like who cares?
Yeah. 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 No, I mean, most people wouldn't know.
I like to think that the skull. Have I ever told you about the origin of that picture of the skull that I use?
No, I don't think so.
Dude, it's me in this mask, and I have a robe that I have in my closet,
Yeah.
like a whole cloak. I just edited the fuck out of the picture.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wait, yeah. Is that the mask? What's the mask you're wearing in the promo video? It's that one?
it's all
Yeah.
that one. You know what's
Honestly, you
funny?
should just like you should stream like in that
You know
outfit.
what's funny is I swear to God, earlier today, I can't believe I already forgot. I was literally sitting here thinking I'm gonna put that on and like just hit like click you in, and then you'll just
You
I
know,
was gonna wear it.
you know what? You should do that. It kind of reminds me of that guy that runs Food's Gone Wild. Have you seen him?
I know I know the page though.
Okay, so the guy, let me see if I can find him. So the guy that runs Food's Gone Wild, he has a name.
What a
I
great
forget
page.
I forget what he calls himself, but he wears a mask at all times so nobody knows what he looks like. He wears like the full cholo attire with the hoodie, and then he wears this like it's like a hockey mask with like a clown nose on it.
Yeah.
And he just speaks through that. Nobody knows what he really looks like.
Well, it's a little too late for me to do that, but I do want to wear the mask like once in a while. It become like a thing.
Yeah, you could do it. I think it would draw a lot of attention.
I don't think it would draw any more attention than I'm gonna draw without it, but it'll be fun.
You know, I was thinking what you could do if you really wanted to like gain a following on social media, and it's kind of tacky, but I follow this guy on Instagram that does it, and he has like I don't know, hundreds of thousands of followers. And I don't really know, like, if I think he rarely shows his face, but he's just like really tall and lanky. And then all he does is he like finds a girl and then he like makes these videos where you just kind of see like his hands. And then he's like, I don't know, like grabbing the girl's thighs or something and like trying to be possessive. And then all these women on the internet are like, who's this mysterious man? And they like get off to that. So you wouldn't even have to show your face.
I'm so confused. So he just grabs girls on the street?
No, so like he'll have like a girl that he knows. So like it seems like he has a new girlfriend like every couple of months.
Well, that's
But
already a problem with my plans. I don't.
but you could just like find like a girl, and then what you do is like I'll send you his page. But basically what he does is like you just see like he has the camera and it's like facing his feet, and then you see his legs, and then he'll have some kind of like raunchy caption to what he's going to do, and then it's like him like being possessive, where like maybe he's sitting in like a chair like what you're sitting in, and then he rolls the chair over to her and then like grabs her neck from behind, and then there's like this like sexy music, so it's supposed to be like, ooh, who is that? But it's just like some lanky dude. Just like
So I gotta see this. This sounds weird.
so actually let me see his name. I think he lives in Europe.
That sounds pretty
Let's
European.
see. His name, I don't know how to say it. It's like Hyoga. It's Hyoga. And like I saw like I think what he does, I think he's like he's European, he's like a white dude, but I think he's trying to emanate like the guys in anime, because he does like the anime hair, so you can't ever see his face, but most of his videos are of just him, like grabbing a chick in like a sexual way, and then there's like a caption, and then all these girls are like, oh my god, I want someone to do that to me.
Yeah, it sounds.
It's
sounds-
like it's nuts. But I'm saying it's like an easy way to get a
That does sound very European too.
yeah.
I wish I could do I have a buddy, he's always busy, he's fucking lame because I know he would I mean, we've talked about doing this, but he's always busy. I wanna do, like, man on the street shit, like, I wanna go to the college town right over from me.
Yeah.
I have a little camera and, like, a microphone set, like, an interview type and just fuck with people, and I know we've talked about it before, like, he's, like, a year or 2 older than me or a year or 2 younger, I can't remember, but he's not embarrassed of anything, like, he's, like, the most hedonist motherfucker you'd ever meet, he's awesome, and,
Okay.
I wanna bring him on here, he said he would be down too, but he's always busy doing weird shit with, like, weird girls,
What does
and,
that mean? Like doing what?
it's just, like, hooking up with girls that are, like, his fr he's, like, a weird motherfucker, I'd have to bring him on here.
Like, okay.
He's hella cool, he would probably get me in trouble, like, if I was a YouTuber and, like, had to watch what is said on my channel, he'd probably end up getting me in trouble because he would just say some bizarre shit. But, yeah, he's just a funny guy, he doesn't care about anything. He sends me the most, like, offensive shit on Instagram, dude, he sends me, like, he'll send me, like dude, it'll be, like, a video from some gore page about it'll be, like, a woman getting run over by a train. No comedy, he just sends it to me, and he's like, "Check this out." I'm like, "Great." Like, what?
That's rough.
But then he'll send me, like, I don't know, some kind of humor about, like, just, like, it's just vulgar shit, basically. But
Okay,
he would be down to go to, like, a liberal college with a camera and a microphone and just harass college kids, which is what I would love to do.
this is I saw this video where like how we've all been having the Palestinian protests. Um I would assume there's some near like the college near you,
Oh,
but
they're, like, encampments and shit, yeah,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
real
So
deal,
so we've been having like a ton of them at UCLA.
of
I saw
course.
this video of these guys, these YouTubers, where they went, I think they were like, they went up to kids that were protesting, and then they were like, "So, are you on Team Palestine now? Like, did you trade like teams from Ukraine? Are we no longer talking?"
Hold on, you know what's funny is that's Danny Mullen and Leo DeTavia, that's, like, 2 of my favorite YouTubers.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really funny because I was
They
like,
also they also went up to some white girl who was wearing one of, like, the headdresses, and they were like, "Isn't that cultural appropriation? Like, since when are you allowed to wear some other cultures?"
"What did she say?"
She sat there and said nothing. What was she gonna say?
What? So that wasn't her a part of her culture. She was just
No,
trying to be
you
supportive.
couldn't see her in the video, but they could see her, but it was obviously a fucking white college girl.
Yeah. Up. Oh my
Like, they all are wearing that thing. But, yeah, no,
Yeah.
that they're hilarious, and the thing that's funny about them is they also go to, like, Trump rallies and harass, like, the Trump like, they're not one or the other.
I saw. I think it was maybe like a week or two ago, but both Trump and Biden came to LA, and then Biden, of course, like he had some like public speech somewhere in downtown, and he got a lot of celebrities to come out. And then I saw Trump, his speech. It was like a minimum like $50,000 donation to get in.
They're both just they're like, the entire world is just fucking retarded, is, like, the best way I can put it, like,
Yeah,
I think they're both just incredibly embarrassing.
yeah,
I really miss the days of, like, "Can we just have, like, a normal, boring guy in a suit that I don't really have to pay attention to?" And, like,
yeah.
I never thought I would miss my childhood of, like, George W. Bush, like, at least he was just, like, a short, boring guy in a suit, like, that's all I want, just give me a boring guy who's, like, a Christian, who just, like, says nothing and then goes home, life sucks, like
Well, the news said the other day that they did some poll and it said like 40% of Americans aren't happy with both candidates.
yeah, no, it's
Of
that's, like, a big
course.
yeah, people are like, "Dude, they all suck," like,
Yeah. I don't know where it's going to go. It feels like we're heading into Handmaid's Tale, to be honest.
I don't think
If
that's
you
the case, but I think, but I do think it's unpredictable, like, whichever one of them wins, I'm like, "Okay, well, then after that for like, who is actually next?" Like, there's nobody you know what I mean? There's nobody coming up that you
Yeah.
could think of, so, yeah, I'm curious about who's next. especially after Trump, the Republican Party, like, there's nothing anymore. Like, it's all about Trump right now.
Yeah.
It's like, even if he wins after his 4 years, like, what are they gonna pump out fucking, like, Ron DeSantis again? Like, Disney will just come wrestle him to the ground and, like, take his
Yeah.
spot, like,
Yeah.
and then after Biden dies, because let's be real, if he wins again, he's gonna fucking die. Like,
Yeah.
what is it gonna be? Kamala Harris and she's gonna laugh? Like,
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the youth today, they're just so angry and upset. I mean, I guess we were angry and upset, but
yeah, but
it,
we
it
were
seems like it seems like the kids that are 25 and younger, they're way they're more out there than we were. Like, we were kind of like, yeah, we got to do something, but they're like, we are going to do something and we are doing it, and they're a lot more angrier and willing to fight.
we weren't political though. I did not give a fuck about politics until I was like 29.
Yeah, I do, but you know what? I feel like for like our generation, it was a lot of like it was a lot of like posting on social media, or like posting flyers. Like, what was that guy, the 2012, was it like Coney 2012, or what was it? It started. Do you remember that? There was like the black guy.
I feel like I remember the term Coney 2012.
Do you remember that? Was
me
that
look
his
this up.
name, or am I thinking? It was like, do you remember that there was something going on, and then everybody was like, we're going to post all these like flyers all over the world in one night. And
Yeah,
then,
Coney.
like, yeah. And then I remember waking up and they were really out there. Like, that was the like extent.
So you live in LA though. For me, dude, all the way up until I was like 27, I just chased girls and got drunk. Like, I never thought a thing about politics. Like, I heard American Idiot by Green Day in like 4th grade
Yeah.
and could not be bothered. I thought it was a good album, but like, I think it's one, it's trendy now. It's obviously like a very trendy thing to be, or to think you're into politics. Kids think they're into politics. They're really not.
Yeah.
They watch like one source. I don't understand that. I say this all the time. I don't understand people who watch like one side, or watch and like, you think you know every, like, dude, you either have to watch all sides, or you just have to acknowledge that you don't know anything.
Yeah.
When I say all sides, I mean, you got to go from the farthest left to the farthest right to the most middle. You got to go to fucking libertarian. I listen to this guy who's a podcast host who's like an anarchist. Like, I listen to fucking anything that I think will tell me.
Who's that reporter that everybody hates? That's
Which
like
one?
no, the right-wing reporter. I don't know. I feel like Joe Rogan interviews him a lot. Shoot, do you know any reporters' names?
I mean, I know a lot, but you got to narrow it down.
Let me see if I can find it.
Right-wing reporters that people hate, I would say Tucker
Carlson.
Joe Rogan's only interviewed him once, I think.
Okay, so
And it was a goofy, fun little interview. I watched it.
The podcast, I listened to it a couple weeks ago. So I've never listened to him speak before. I just have heard
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, I've never.
He has the best laugh. His laugh is hilarious.
It's like, I clearly don't agree with a lot of what he had to say, but they were talking this bit about like aliens, and some of it I was kind of like, that I kind of resonate with that a little bit. Then I'm like, well, this is an interesting character, because it's like there's this part of him, because he firmly believes, like in straight conservatism, and women should be having babies, and like that's it. And so that's where I'm like, okay, that's fucking nuts. But then when he's talking about like, well, I think, aliens are real, and they're like dropping off like bits and pieces of their technology for us to learn from. I'm like, well, that's not too far off. That could happen. Yeah.
So first of all, I don't think he's like a flat out conservative. I don't know how to get into. I don't know. I think he's like a fucking more on the right than the left, but I don't think he's like a far like.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's more away from the far right than most people would give him credit for. But that's what I'm saying. There's like things that everybody say that I agree with or disagree with. Like, I hate the mentality that like, oh, because this guy thinks one thing I don't like, I can't listen to anything he says.
Yeah.
It's like you just said, you might not like what Tucker Carlson says about fucking anything, but when it comes to aliens, you're like, okay, well, yeah, that's true. I have a what do I have? I have some book from Ben Shapiro that I got like fucking years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'll fucking read it. Like, why? I don't know. I found it at some bookstore. I've also got fucking books from like left wing. Like, I watch everything, and there's things that like one person might say that I'm like, okay, yeah, I agree with that. I hate everything else they say, but
Yeah.
it's like my enemy is gonna be right one time in the day. Like,
Yeah.
I hate the all or nothing mentality of like, if I have to hate this guy or I have to love this guy. Like, no, you can hate all of them, and you can understand that some things they say are gonna be true. Like,
Yeah.
your worst enemy still also drinks water. Like, it's just stupid to think that
Yeah.
you're gonna disagree with 100% of everything somebody says just because you don't like their political standings. Like,
Mhm.
I think it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah, I don't agree with a lot of shit Tucker Carlson says, but I think his alien talk is cool. Dude, he was talking about like how there are military personnel that have died, and it's like the closest explanation we have is like some kind of a UFO. Like, they get close to these UFO and then they die. Like,
Yeah.
I almost think he's too conspiracy theorist to be like a right winger, which I know nowadays right winger is kind of seen as like a conspiracy theorist, but
Yeah.
that's what I mean. He seems a little bit more out there than like, and then he also was talking about in that Joe Rogan episode, and this I really liked. He was saying that he lives on a farm with a bunch of like goats and cow animals,
Mhm.
and he was saying that he thinks it's very important for us as humans to go outside and spend time with animals. And I was like, oh, I like that a lot. I like to, when my friend lived on a goat farm, I like to go fucking hang out with the goats and the pigs. And so, yeah, I don't have to like him, but he says things that I can't disagree with. Like,
Yeah, no, that's what I got out of it. I thought it was interesting because I've never, like, I guess, like, listened to like the other side.
so
So,
you gotta watch, there's these compilation videos on YouTube. It's from his time at Fox News,
mhm.
and there's this series of video it's this series of videos called "You Can't Cuck the Tuck," and it's, Tucker Carlson would have, like, left-wingers on his show, and they would get into debates, which, of course, Tucker Carlson would win because it's his show. I don't understand why people think they're gonna go onto someone else's show and beat them. Like, you're gonna
Yeah.
get but so the guy basically takes like Mortal Kombat and like Street Fighter sounds and like applies them. So there's like a health bar. So Tucker Carlson will say something to punk them,
Yeah.
and their health bar will go down, and you'll see like a boom, pow, like it's a fighting game. You got it's hilarious. But yeah, I don't understand. That brings me to a whole other subject. You ever watch those red pill shows where like the OnlyFans girls like face off against like the conservative guys, and it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. I've
you really think you're gonna go on this guy's show and like win? Like, it's edited and like
I've seen the one, that like I don't know, like that trans person that is like morbidly obese, like the
the
Asian.
the
uh,
transformer looking person over
Yeah,
there.
the
Yeah.
one I don't even know, where they're like an ogre essentially. I saw one where they invited them on and then like other women, and yeah, that was just like rough. But yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
It's all like, if you've seen one episode, you've seen them all. They're all the
Yeah.
same. But
Yeah.
I think it's funny that the girls, I know they go on there for promotion, but like, to me, it's like you realize you like people set these shows up to make sure that they win. Like, you're not gonna go on there.
Yeah.
You need to listen to that. Remember you sent me that video that was I told you it was that guy Kevin Samuels, where he was calling the girl like a linebacker in the NFL?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that guy's whole show, he's like the godfather of the red pill movement, I'm pretty sure. I have a buddy that loved that guy. His whole show was he'd sit at home and he would stream, and girls would just call him, and it would just be girls that would be like, I'm fucking 23 years old. I got 3 kids from 3 different baby daddies, but I'm still a catch. Like, guys are gonna fight over me." And he'd just sit there and be like, "No, you're fucking ridiculous. Like, you're a linebacker. You're 200 pounds." He would just punk the shit out of him, and then hang up on him. Like,
Damn.
why are girls calling this guy just to get like, this guy's just roasting them for money on the internet, and then it's like, I don't understand why people are. I mean,
Well,
I assume they're desperate to get online, like, for attention, but it's like, is it really that bad that you're willing to let this guy call you a fucking linebacker in front of the world? Like,
yeah, I mean, don't they say like, what is it? Like what is it, the term, like any promotion is good promotion
all
or something?
publicity is good
Yeah,
publicity.
publicity, yeah.
there's a difference though. To me, it's like Courtney Love getting drunk and throwing her shoes at Madonna. That's different than like a man calling you a fucking linebacker. Like she just got called fat in front of millions of people. Like there's a difference between like
I don't know. I feel like there's a desperation in people nowadays.
yeah, I guess so.
So, you
It
know,
it works on that
I
whatever
yeah.
podcast. Those OnlyFans girls, apparently their numbers skyrocket after they go on that show.
Oh, I'm sure.
Which is funny
I'm
because that
sure.
show is supposed to be like, against all of that, but then they're like promoting these girls' OnlyFans. It's I don't know.
What happened with the porn star?
Which
The
one?
w- the one we were talking about last week where she reached out after you
Oh,
posted the clip?
my dream girl,
Yeah.
Callie Roses.
Okay, so
No,
what's this
she didn't reach
tea?
out. I clipped that part of our episode and I posted it on Twitter and tagged her in it. And sure enough, every time I tweet her, I'm like, she's not going to respond. She's got over 600,000 followers, but she followed me back this time, which I'm pretty sure when you follow someone, whenever you engage with them, they like see that you like engage with them, like for sure.
Yeah.
So now I'm pretty sure every time I talk about her, I should clip it and then I'll tweet about it and then she will see it.
Yeah.
And then if she retweets it enough, I don't know, maybe we'll get enough followers. I want to get enough subscribers to make it realistic to where I hit her up and I'm like, hey, like, I want to interview you because I want to interview porn stars about like what their favorite music is and shit.
Well, why don't you just ask her?
I have
Just
no
do it.
subscribers.
Yeah, but it's fine. Just do it. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not gonna waste her time.
yeah, but I mean, if she wants to do it, she will do it. So
Why would she
it
want
doesn't
to do it?
because why not? I mean, it's amusing, you know.
Because
Why would
she has better things to do, like money to make.
I mean, but you thought that you kept saying, "Oh, she's never going to respond to you," and then she did.
Okay, but there's a
Like
difference
so.
between a tweet and like going onto a YouTube channel for an hour-long interview.
I think it doesn't hurt to try. You never know.
I think
you'd be surprised.
I think she probably makes a lot of money per hour.
I don't know. We'll see. I think you should do it though.
Well, Amanda Bynes didn't message me back, so there's that.
Yeah, but I've messaged Amanda Bynes like 4 times and she hasn't messaged me back. I have a feeling she doesn't check her DMs because I'm sure she gets a lot of crap.
Well,
And then people, yeah.
Then why don't you go hit up Callie Roses?
Yeah, I mean, you want me to? Okay, you want to come into our
You
our
live
club?
closer to you. I don't think she lives in Hollywood or LA anymore.
Yeah, but she follows you. If I send her a message, it's going to go into her message requests. If you send her a message, it'll go into her main DMs.
Yeah.
That's more important. So
I might drop I might if I did hit her up, I would say something like, "Hey, look, once I'm like higher up in the pecking order, then I'll hit you up." And put the idea in her head. That she has another shirt out. I want to get this other shirt too. I want to start wearing her shirts like all the time on stream, and then every time I'll clip it.
Yeah. No, I think she might do it. I mean, who knows? If she does do it, you'll get a lot of followers.
I don't think I would get a lot. I mean, I'd get some for sure.
You don't have any OnlyFans girls that follow you? Don't you have like 9,000 followers?
I can count the pretty girls that follow my account on one hand.
Out of 9,000 followers?
Yeah. Do you think pretty girls like Charles Manson?
I don't know. There's women out there. So.
And I'm losing followers. I noticed that pretty much every time I post like a clip from this, like I lose followers.
What? Oh no.
I told you that. People didn't follow that account for me. They followed it for the Manson stuff. And now I almost feel bad. I feel like I like lied to these people. Like
No. I think
I don't feel bad because I know that from the very beginning I've been talking about wanting to turn Disco Acid Cult into a YouTube thing. Like this has been my plan since day one. I've posted about it. If they didn't see it, that's on them. And they can unfollow. I don't give a shit.
I mean, you might have like some bots that follow you.
I probably have a couple. When you look at your follower,
yeah.
When you look at your follower count, it estimates how many it thinks are bots, and I think mine's like 100 or something out of the 9,000.
Okay.
But
yeah, it could be the bots that are being removed.
No, it's mostly people. I think it's just people that, they see the Manson shit. And you can tell, like, look,
Don't you have that one musician that follows you? What's his name?
Hank the Third.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Hey, can you come on my show?
No, see, I also don't want to like clout chase like that. But okay, look,
That's
so
so funny.
2 hours ago I posted that reel of me telling the story about the MySpace comment. It has like 7 likes right now. And then
Okay.
on Father's Day, I posted that Happy Father's Day post.
Yeah.
And right now it's up to 292 likes. But it was more
Okay.
than 7 after like 2 hours. Like people follow my page because they think it's a true crime page.
Yeah.
And now they're getting me talking about my ex-girlfriends, which, by the way, I did not finish the story for this week, but I
Okay.
can explain my plan for it once we get to that part. But it is about an
Okay.
ex-girlfriend.
Okay. I think you I think you need to do like a couple of things to attract like followers from all over. I think you should do the video I was telling you about where it's just like a hand like grabbing like a woman's thigh.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send me that.
I'll find it. I'll find it.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, I don't know. Instagram is strange. It's interesting though, like I wonder where like social media will go over time. Like if you think about like how far we've come since like MySpace, like where we are at currently, where people are obsessed with like finding followers or yeah, like obtaining followers and posting. I feel like that's not going to be forever. You know,
Yeah.
like in 20 years, do you think people are still going to be obsessing over this?
I'm curious about what's gonna be the next thing after podcasts.
I don't know. I mean, what could there be?
That I don't know. I do have to clarify. I've never said this here before. I think some people refer to what I'm doing as like a podcast.
Okay.
Which I don't like. I've always I fucking everyone it's so fucking lame. I've always wanted to call it a talk show. If anything, I would call this a talk show
Yeah.
just because that sounds classier than podcast. But
Trying to identify with Howard Stern
no,
more
yeah,
than.
I guess so. Oh, hey, Jordan just showed up. Do you want to let him in?
Yeah, let him in.
No, I love old Howard Stern. New Howard Stern sucks, obviously. But hey, what's up, man?
Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with the screen. I don't know if I can see you guys.
We
No,
can
we can
see
see you.
you.
No way.
What are you not seeing?
Like, I don't know. It's like glitching. I'm good
Yeah.
though.
Do you have a computer?
Your Annie's screen is fun. My screen and your screen, Rob, are not. I don't know what's going on. No, I do not have a laptop right now. I kind of smashed mine about 3 or 4 months ago. I got to buy a new one along with a new TV.
What's that story?
That sounds like Georgia shit.
It's no, it's not even Georgia shit, man. It's just Jordan shit is the right way to go about it. I don't know, man. I get in these can you guys still see me right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. I fuck the stream. I don't know if my shit's working or not. But yeah, as long as I'm good to you guys. I don't know what's going on, man. They say most mental illness kicks off in your early 20s. That's all I pretty much have to say about it. But I don't know, man. I mean, I like to say it's when I'm drunk, but I mean, even when I'm, halfway sober, dude, even sober, period. I don't know what it is. I just like to, I don't know, man. I just go off in these little rages. A few months ago, it was my TV, it was my laptop, and I mean, now it's my TV. Just this weekend, actually, I got to buy a new TV, but, what were you about to say, man?
I was just gonna say I like breaking TVs too. I totally get it.
I'm not like Keith Moon or anything when it comes to toilets. I mean, toilets are off my radar, but like as far as
Wait, what does that mean?
I mean Keith Moon. Keith Moon. You never heard of Keith Moon and
No,
all his stories?
yeah.
Break trash in hotel rooms.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, pretty basically, yeah. I mean, the Who. Hold on.
You got something to wear?
Yeah. Of course.
Don't be like.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you're good.
All right, well, good luck.
Good luck. Yeah, it's all good. No, she's not. Well, that's on stream now. Yeah.
Man, I'm hella jealous of your guys' accents.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Dude, Southern accents are badass.
No.
Can you
I don't
attempt
think they
one?
are. You said
No,
what?
dude, you guys are like fucking Leonard Skinner.
I mean, dude, no lie. My my uncle did. He never got to meet Ronnie, because he died in '77. But
Yeah.
his brother, Johnny, the one that does the lead singing in the band now. My uncle did X-rays on him in Jacksonville. All out of Jacksonville. His brother Johnny, had to have back surgery and shit. And my uncle did X-rays on him before he died. He had him sign a few guitars and everything like that. But and I invited him to the funeral, of course. But he's Leonard Skinner. He didn't show up. But yeah, man, my uncle died in 2021. But he used to tell me all these stories of how he had Johnny sign these guitars and everything like that. I mean, it was a trip. It really was.
That's hilarious.
It's a really cool little family story we like to tell. And Johnny, of course, he knows nothing about our existence, but it's just that one doctor one time, that did an X-ray on him, as far as he's concerned. But I don't know, to us, man, it's like a little family thing we just like to talk about whenever we bring up my uncle.
It's yeah, that's like a claim to fame story for sure.
Whatever, yeah, sure. Yeah.
No, I would use it. I would use it all the time. I'd be doing it way harder than you are.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. My uncle did, X-rays on Johnny Van Zant, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what I'd be saying.
Yeah, I believe it. No,
I'm a clout chaser like that.
I don't know what it is, man. I'm just not. I couldn't do it. Speaking of clout chasing, man, and you guys are a little bit older than me, man. X's. The anniversary of XXX Tentacion's death was yesterday. I don't know if I should even be bringing that up.
No. Some other kid I know, I think like in Florida, posted about that.
Dude, I mean, it's an RIP for sure. It's an RIP for sure. I mean, I don't know how close your generation was to him, but I mean, I convinced my 50-year-old father to take me to his grave in 2019. I mean, it had that much of an impact for sure.
Yeah, no, I know kids like him. I don't understand him, but
and of course, I don't know if you would or not, man. You're like 10 years older, man. But I could understand my dad not, but I don't know, man. I think you got a chance of understanding for sure.
I could get into it. Like I'm cool with. I was gonna say I'm cool with
the main thing was, man, you just weren't in time for the wave when it was there. You know what I mean? And that's the same with like fucking like Chief Keef with me. Don't get me wrong. I understand like why he's popular and shit, but like 2012 type shit, man. I mean, I understand Joey Badass more than I do him. Like, and Chief Keef might have been a bad example, but like it's just the time and people that are born into certain times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
X was different, man. I truly consider X like, and I'll say this on stream, man. X was like the Kurt Cobain of this generation.
Yeah.
And Cobain was big. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? I think X was big, man. And I think motherfuckers are really gonna talk about him in a few years from now. Give it 10 years, man. Motherfuckers are gonna talk about X just the same way they do Biggie, man.
You know who I like?
Yeah.
I like Juice.
Juice, man. I'll tell you what, man. Out of every person or like person that I've noticed, it's like those three. It's either Peep, Juice, or X, man. I mean, it really is.
I had a buddy who was really into Lil Peep, and his buddy was older than me, so it was kind of.
I remember each day. Like I remember where I was for each of them when they died, and they were each on like weekends or vacations. Like X was on summer break, and that was a really weird summer. But I remember Pete being right like on I forgot what it was. I heard about it on a weekend though for sure, and I wasn't into Pete when he died, so it was different. But I mean, and I was into Juice when he died too, but like it wasn't like the same as X. I don't know what it was. And that's what I mean when I say like everybody has their one. It was either Juice, Peep, or X, man.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Like, dude, it was like 9/11 for me. Like I truly remember the minute exactly what I was doing, exactly where I was when X died or when I heard about it,
Yeah.
It was a weird day in music. It was like the day that that plane crashed and we lost Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper and shit. Like it was the exact same way for me. I don't know what it is about that, but I think there's a comparison. I really do. When a certain genre of music Like when the universe claims a certain genre of music is over, you know what I mean? The waters start drawing back, and it starts taking the artists with it. And I feel like history repeats itself. And it was the same way with 90s rock, you know, grunge rock. It started, the water started receding, and it started taking the artists with it. And I feel like the exact same thing is happening to 90s or late 2000s rap, you know what I mean? The same exact thing is happening. It's taking all the artists with it, and the universe is claiming it's time for something new.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I think, man. I mean, I don't know a better way to explain it. I really don't.
No, yeah, it all ends at some point.
It all ends at some point. Exactly. It's freaky, man. It really is. I think there's, you know, everybody always talks about life and death, but I feel like music lies in that conversation somewhere. There's life, and then there's music, and then there's death. I truly feel that. And I don't know, like motherfuckers, musicians, man, that have predicted their deaths. You know, I feel like some of them are like more dead on than monks and like motherfuckers in Asia. You know what I mean? And they work at it for thousands, like not thousands, of course, but like just about all their lives to try to even be able to comprehend stuff like that. And these musicians get it in months. I mean, it's terrifying. I feel like that there's life and there's death, and I think there's music somewhere in there too. I truly do.
Yeah, sure, I would agree.
And
You
of
know
course,
what's
you've had your own bands.
you know what's weird is were any of those shit, what am I trying to say? How old were those three guys when they died? Like were they older than you?
X was 20 when he died, and they all died when, like, Peep died when I was 15, X died when I was 16, and Juice died when I was
He was
17.
21.
Yeah, X was 20, and Peep was 21, and I believe Juice was 21.
But like you're 21 now, right?
Yeah, I'm 21 now.
So what I'm saying is, to me, it feels hella weird once you get older than them.
I tell people that shit all the time. Like, I'm older than X ever lived to
Yeah,
do.
you're like I made it longer than my fucking heroes, and it feels like hell. It feels
And
strange.
to be real, man, I mean, the only thing that it does for me, it's the same thing as like Lane Staley or Kurt Cobain. I know I haven't lived as long as they did yet, but I mean, they're like I wouldn't say like, I mean, my superheroes. I mean, I kind of get pissed off half the time I hear about people talking about Kurt Cobain, but like, it's the same thing as them. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of irks me, man. It kind of pisses me off because, like, one, X didn't deserve to die. And then say Kurt Cobain did kill himself. I'm not one of the type of people that subscribe themselves to that idea, but say he did kill himself, but like the media said, then he's a motherfucker, man, straight up. Wow, like a guy with a head of hair like that, with a voice like that could play guitar like that. Same thing with Chris Cornell. It couldn't be that. It couldn't be that simple. There had to be something more involved in that death. Like, with the way I think about Kurt Cobain, man, like, I don't know, like, people compare me to him a lot, so it kind of pisses me off. And I had a motherfucker at a bar one time tell me, you know, they're gonna compare you to Kurt Cobain until the day you die. Like, and I was, you know, I don't know what to think about that. So half the time I'm either obsessed with him or I'm just genuinely pissed off by him. But I don't know, man. People look at Kurt Cobain like they would look at Peep or Juice or X now. And it's so weird to me. And it's like I always knew X was gonna die. You know, even in 2017, listening to him, like they had all the, you know, concept art of him with the skull and his face and shit. You know, I don't know. I always thought he was gonna die. And, you know, motherfuckers in the 90s probably thought Kurt Cobain was gonna die. You know what I mean?
Oh shit. Yeah.
Like, Annie, like how old were you when you were, like, not how old were you when you were born, but like what year were you born?
94.
So you were born the year this motherfucker died.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
I don't know because I was a baby.
She was like 2 months old.
No shit, but like, you know, like how
What-
9/11
Rob,
was for
are
like
you
me.
93 or 94?
I'm 93.
Okay.
I guess I see music differently than most people. I don't know, but like I feel as though that was a milestone. You know what I mean? And I wasn't even around to live for it. Same thing as 9/11. Like I was born a year and a few months after 9/11 happened. I just wasn't around for that, but I remember hearing about the after effects of it. You know what I mean?
Rob, do you remember what you were doing during 9/11?
No, so I was in first grade, and I
First grade.
have no memories of like our teacher. Like almost feel safe saying that at my school they just didn't say anything to us about it.
Shut the
Oh, I
fuck
have
up,
like
man.
I have
No way.
memories.
I could be wrong, but I just don't remember. What did they do at your school?
Well, I remember exactly when it happened. Yeah, it was like what, first grade for us. And
Yeah.
I remember I was like getting ready for school and I was sitting down in the living room watching TV and my parents had turned on the news and I think my mom was like brushing my hair and I watched it live like as it happened and I
No
remember
fucking
being like,
way.
"Oh, wow." And then my parents were freaked out.
What did you
And
think about it at the time?
I mean, I don't know. We were in first grade, so it was kind of like,
You
oh,
could
that's
at least give
crazy.
me an
Like,
idea.
Were
but-
you? I was gonna say, were you aware? Because I know me, dude. I didn't in first grade. You couldn't bother me. Like I was pretending that I was Goku out on the playground. Like I didn't give
But
a
I
shit.
remember
Yeah.
what I was doing. I remember
I mean,
was like
I
playing with toys at
remember
my
like
desk and shit.
seeing it and thinking like that's crazy, but I don't remember like really taking it in because it's yeah. How old are you in first grade? Like
Yeah, exactly. I can see
7?
that. Like
So-
understanding what's going on, but not really taking it in.
But what I do remember though, and I found it kind of annoying, is like years after that, like through the rest of elementary school, I remember every year on 9/11, whatever teacher I had, they always made us like write something like what were your memories of 9/11 and like wanted to talk about it
Oh, I
and
bet that was
everybody was
freaking
like
weird.
I don't know, we were in first grade like and they wanted us to write some like heartfelt letter about how drastic it was and I'm like, well, you guys as the teachers probably felt more for it because you're adults and you comprehended it.
Exactly.
I'm like,
That's
we're
freaky.
8, I can't speak to it.
Like
It
they're
was-
holding you hostage or something.
It was only maybe about like a year or two ago. I watched some documentary on it where they showed the live footage of like the firefighters like going in. I think it's on YouTube. And that was crazy. That was like the first time in my adult life where I was like, oh, this is interesting and wild.
I remember in 5th grade they showed us the Zapruder film, and that was in 5th fucking grade.
That's awesome.
No. Like I had a pretty cool teacher in 5th grade. Like if she ever sees this, Miss Lacrosse, like thank you so much for showing us that shit. Because now I'm 21. Like she should have never showed us that, and I don't think she even had permission to. You know what I mean? But she showed us the Zapruder film in 5th fucking grade, dude. And I was like, I just remember thinking like I was the only kid in the class. I remember looking around thinking, these motherfuckers don't even know, like this is great. And I don't remember if I knew about it before then, but of course, like I remember thinking like either I've seen this on YouTube or I've seen this, like this is fucking the bee's knees, like this is great. And that's the way I like describe the Zapruder film, like this is the bee's fucking knees, straight up. What do you mean some dude killed the president of our country in some school book depository? You know what I mean? There's no fucking way.
JFK is badass. I've been meaning to post like JFK speeches on my Instagram because I really do like JFK.
As far as I'm concerned, and I don't mean to get political. I don't state whether I'm a Democrat or a Republican. I think they're both fucked. The leader of both parties,
We were just talking about this.
exactly. Like as far as I'm concerned, the absolute diplomacy of it, like
Yeah,
the leader.
Yeah, fuck
of
all
it.
of them.
Exactly. Like I think Kennedy did it the best. Without the Cuban Missile Crisis and how he handled it going down. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think any of us would have been born, man. I really don't. I think we almost botched shit up a little while back. I really do.
I know Kennedy wanted to disband the CIA.
He wanted to disband the Federal Reserve,
The Federal Reserve,
CIA,
that would have been the big one, the Federal Reserve. That's of course they took him out.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. There's no that you look into everything that besides Kennedy. You look into everything, objectively looking without Kennedy even involved. You start looking at everything the government's done since 1940, not even 1950. You start seeing after a little long trace, you're like, okay, I would have killed Kennedy too, if I was the fucking government,
Yeah.
Like, Kennedy was of no help to the government at all. At all. If
No, that's
anything,
what
he
was
a
cool
problem.
about him.
Exactly. Non-conformity, dude, all the fucking way. I don't know. I think the Federal Reserve will be the reason this country falls. And you can tell me I said it on this podcast now. You know what I mean? I truly, and I'm 21. I don't know everything, but I don't know with everything I've read about, dude. I don't know, man. That Federal Reserve, it is not looking too bright. It really, it's not.
Oh, fucking it. Yeah, we were literally just talking about. I was saying that I think Trump and Biden are both retarded.
No, yeah, 100%. If you're voting for either one of them, you're ridiculous and you're part of the fucking problem, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think we need a president anymore, and I'm not sure exactly what we need, but I think the president is outdated.
One of the things I really wanted to do before I got that big strike on my Instagram that I was in trouble for like 6 months or 3 months, I really wanted to try and start like a thing where I get enough people to go when they go to vote, go write in Charles Manson. I wanted like enough people to do it where like Fox News would contact me and I'd go on Fox
Dude,
News and they'd be like,
I swear, hey, tell you what, man, if we survive it, we could probably do it next year, man. I've got a few friends of mine, dude. I mean, we know a few people. I think we could get this shit done. I really do.
yeah, if I get enough traction too. Yeah, I wanted to be on like Fox News, like fucking like Jesse Waters being like, so Rob,
wrote in Charles Manson this year. We don't know what the fuck's going on. Yeah, that'd be sick, dude. That would be great. We'd all be sitting at our houses just watching it happen.
I think I don't know what I fucking think. I think everyone's gonna die.
Yeah, like exactly, man. I mean, and that's the way they build it up every year. I don't know if it's like traction control. I don't know if it's like false programming, like false flags and shit. I don't know what it is half the time, man. But like, you know, they just told us a week ago that we have like Russian ships outside of Cuba and Florida just sitting there waiting. Somebody told me at work the other day that we had that happening going on, and I was like, Russia's in Cuba again? What the fuck? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? And you know, Russia's queuing up with fucking Russia's, you know, queuing up with like North Korea and shit. You know, I don't know what the fuck to think about all of it, man.
Russia has hot girls though, right? Like Russian girls are usually
no, yeah, for sure. Russia definitely has sweet babes, for sure. But I don't know, man. Like, are they gonna kill us because we're American? Yes. Are they gonna kill us because we're Christian? No. So I feel like we've got like 50-50 riding for us. I really do. Russia fucks with Christians, I think.
Rob, do you want to read what you wrote for today? Or
Annie, I am so sorry. I forgot all about the prompt and everything. You know, he told me to get on, and I just hopped on. You know,
I never do the prompt. So let me explain to you. Let me explain to you about the deal with my writing for today. So
okay,
I started writing an hour ago, literally like an hour ago before we started streaming.
Okay. I wrote mine at like 5 o'clock.
Annie, forgive me before you guys even start. What is the prompt so I can start writing immediately?
Write about the most attractive girl you've ever made out with.
No, so the prompt was to write about a relationship you've had with somebody, either a friendship or an actual relationship, and talk about that friendship or relationship. Who they were. Or if it was like someone you dated, and like, was it pleasant or was it like stressful?
Man, this is too bland. This is too like straight up. Like, I don't even know which one to write. Man, I've got too many people that impacted me.
But you could just talk about one like after he speaks about his.
Okay,
hold on. Once I present what I want to do, you might be able to read if you write something for it next week. So what I was thinking, because what I did was,
no, I'll do something this week, man. Fuck it. You know what I mean?
I started an hour ago, and I thought I was just gonna write like a little thing, but it turns out I have 2.5 pages, and I'm not even like close.
Whoa!
I told you when I sit down to write, I always think it's gonna be a quickie, and then I'm writing for like days.
He did tell me that, but then again, man, I mean, this must be a pretty impactful person. Am I wrong? Like,
yeah, no, it's a good one. So I got 2.5 pages, and I thought I could read this, and I could leave it off, do like a cliffhanger right after the first kiss, and then I could finish it up sometime down the line.
Okay,
so
hold on.
Cliffhanger?
So hold on. Is the relationship was it like stressful, or is this like
it's the high school one. It's the on again, off again, on again. Like, that's an understatement.
Because I found a prompt for next week. It was like like write about a time or something involving like anger, like when you were angry. So if this ties into it.
Oh man, no,
Were
that'd be
you
even an even better one
did
for
you guys
sure.
like fight a lot?
We fought all the time, but
Okay,
there was good too.
Well, we could tie that in, like describe a time when you were like angry, and then you could talk about like your fights with this person, and then go on for the rest of the relationship.
Yeah, this is
To
true.
continue on. Okay, so go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me pull it up. You might see how bad my eyes are when you see how close I have to get. I usually write my stories on my phone, but this time I wrote it on the computer, and I realized it was a terrible idea. I had to use my script writing software and
You don't
the,
use your notepad?
I like typing.
Okay.
I think I have carpal tunnel.
You guys can still
Okay.
hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I'm just trying to fix my fucking screen, and I feel like I'm fucking other shit up in the process. You
Your
know what I mean?
screen's fine.
All right, you guys's, I'll tell you what, yours and mine are not. Annie's is perfect. I don't know what the fuck's
That's
up
all.
with
That's
hers.
all. That's all you need. Annie's the host of the
Exactly.
show.
Yeah, exactly.
This
Fuck
is
it.
Annie's show.
Damn right.
All right.
Thank you for letting me be on your show, Annie. By the way.
Of course. Anytime.
Yeah, Annie wants the chaos on this all the time.
I do love a bit of chaos.
I'll tell you what, I'm known to fuck shit up.
Right.
All right. Let me pull it up. Jesus Christ. Okay, this font is small. So I wrote.
I'm probably just gonna go off the top of the dome. By the way, like after he
Okay.
goes, I don't even know who I'm gonna talk about yet. But yeah. All right,
Shit.
Robert.
I keep losing my thing. All right, so I wrote most of my time in high school, I had an on again, off again girlfriend. To call our relationship tumultuous would be an understatement, a huge understatement, really. There were days when we'd both arrive at school in the morning and we'd get into a fight and break up. Later, we'd get back together and spend lunch making out behind the ceramics class building, and then we'd be broken up again before the end of the day. For today's story, I'm going to call this girl Maura. I'm not going to, one of the few
Okay.
people I
Cool
won't say
name.
her. Most people in this story's names have been changed. So Maura and I met in second period math class our freshman year. We went to middle school together, but I don't believe we ever crossed paths there. In math class, I thought she was annoying. She was loud, she was disruptive and abrasive, and I thought she was obviously desperate for attention. She used to get into arguments with the teacher, and class would come to a halt while we'd all sit and watch them argue. I used to think, send this obnoxious broad to the principal's office and let's get on with it. We didn't really talk until I started pursuing a girl that would become my third girlfriend. You'll remember this is the fight at the skate park over me girl. We'll call her Megan. After starting a relationship with Megan, Maura started talking to me in class because they were friends at the time. I still thought she was annoying, but at the same time, I thought she was kind of adorable, and I acknowledged to myself that she was undeniably pretty. My memory is hazy on this specific detail, but I'm pretty sure while still in my short-lived relationship with Megan, I had started developing a crush on Maura. My little relationship with Megan was hardly actually a relationship. I actually popped the "will you be my girlfriend" question to her one night after a show that my band played. I got the exciting yes from her, and within 1 hour I was cheating on her. We
No
obviously
fucking way.
broke up some short time after just starting. Funnily enough, I don't think we broke up because of the cheating. Let me see. I don't think she ever really found out that I cheated.
No way.
I remember us breaking up because she moved away. She moved a couple towns over, and we were too young to drive. I remember us very apathetically breaking up over text, like we just really didn't care. But anyways, I wasn't bummed about it because now I got to pursue Maura, so good news. Let me see. I wrote this little part. I loved the chase at that age. I lived for chasing girls and getting them to like me. This was true. That was like my favorite thing to do. So I actually kind of liked getting broken up with because then I got to go chase new girls. All the times Maura and I talked about my fling with Megan, I was just falling more and more for Maura instead, is basically how it worked out. We had actually become friends by this point. Her best friend at the time just so happened to live right down the street from me. This girl I'm going to call Liv. So whenever Maura was at Liv's house, I would just walk down the street and we'd all three hang out. We kind of became a Three Musketeers kind of trio of friends. The next momentous, okay. So then I guess this would be like next chapter because I have like hazy memory about a bunch of like specific moments. The next
Mm.
momentous occasion I remember was my 16th and my best friend's 16th birthday party. You guys are going to love this one. Our birthdays are one day apart, so we used to just put our birthdays together and get down heavy. He also happened to live just around the corner from me. We'll call him Alan. My friend's name's going to be Alan here. So for our combined birthday party, we found ourselves at the park in our neighborhood with Mora and Liv. After a fair amount of drinking, Alan and I tossed out the idea of birthday makeout sessions. I don't remember what we actually called them, but so the girls decided if this was going to, no, they said they agreed, but in order to make this happen, my friend and I would have to make out first.
Dude, forgive me for asking during the story, but this is in California, right?
Oh, this is California.
Son of a bitch. Keep going.
So let me see. But I lost my place. Okay,
Hey,
yeah.
My bad, dude.
No, you're good. They did agree to make out with us, but only if we would first.
God damn.
Of course, we said no, but we haggled our way down to this agreement. This agreement was that Alan and I would kiss 3 times, strictly 3 quick pecks on the lips. That was the deal that we cut. And the girls were satisfied with this deal. So, some context, my friend Alan, had a full beard at this point, even at the age of 16. So that's that's all I need to say about that. It's literally what I wrote.
Man, I've had a few friends like that, yeah.
So we had completed our end of the bargain, and then we jump on. Now, because I was drunk, I don't remember how it turned out this way, but the way it went down was that I made out with Liv while Alan made out with Mora. So I remember at the time being totally fine with it, like as it was happening. I wrote Liv was also very pretty herself. But I remember as our night was winding down, as I got more drunk, I stewed on this like more and more. It's almost like I was too drunk and stupid that it took me time to realize that I made out with the wrong girl while my friend made out with the girl I had a crush on. And that actually wasn't even the first kiss. I thought I was going to end this with. I forgot about this part already. At the end of our night, Mora and Liv walked back to Liv's house while I went back with Alan to his house. While laying drunk in my buddy's bed, the world was spinning around me. I started texting Mora about how upset I was at what just happened. I'm pretty sure I basically drunkenly unloaded all my feelings to her.
It's like the plot is super bad too, man. You know what I mean? Like, this is like some real deal shit.
Oh, this was hilarious shit. Let me see. I basically just drunkenly unloaded all my feelings on her over text. I don't remember what she said back to me, but if I had to guess, knowing her, she probably reminded me that I made out with her friend. She probably told me to shut up, and she probably told me that I was stupid before putting her phone down and went to sleep. Because that's the kind of person that she was. And for some reason, I thought it was awesome. The days after this, I don't remember too well. I would imagine I tried to play it off like I was just drunk, and we just went back to being friends. I do remember some conversations about how I did want a relationship. I remember one of her excuses for a while was that she would have felt bad given that she was friends with my now ex-girlfriend. I never bought that, though. Sometimes I think she just thought we were better off as friends, and maybe she was right, who knows. But I know that I kept pushing and pursuing. I remember at one point she was trying so hard to get me off her back that she set me up with a friend of hers. And I liked her friend, but I just really liked her more. Let me see, I literally write more fuzzy times and memories pass by. Now, I remember one time Mora brought a bunch of, God, this is a great one. I remember one time Mora brought a bunch of her random friends and her ex-boyfriend over to my drummer's house while we were having band practice. Obviously, I was mad about this. I had been drinking. And at some point, I ended up at the park across the street with her and this ragtag bunch of friends that she had with her. Mora and I ended up sitting next to each other on the sign that had the park's name posted on it. And all glory to Liquid Courage, I went in for the first kiss with the right girl. And I remember it being like one of those drama movie kisses. She was receptive and kissed back and then seemed to realize the situation and pulled away. I had just kissed her in front of this ex-boyfriend of hers, and I suppose the most important detail was that this guy probably could have whooped my ass at this time in my life. It didn't seem like she pulled away out of discomfort. It seemed like she pulled away to avoid any conflict among her group and myself. I remember her looking shocked and looking around to see if anyone saw. And then I write, I guess her bringing her ex-boyfriend to my practice is an important detail I just skipped right over. She used to seemingly do things like that to get a rise out of me. She always knew how to push my buttons so much harder than they'd ever been pushed. And for some odd fucking reason, I thought it was cool. And I continued to like her. The last sentence of this is actually the best thing. I'm super glad I got to leave it on this. I wrote, "It's like when Donald Trump said he could shoot somebody in the street in broad daylight and people would still love him. Maura could have shot me in the street in broad daylight and I would have still loved her." And that's the end of it. That's as soon as I sent you the link and we hopped on stream.
Annie, do you want to say anything first? Go ahead.
Well, I just want to know why you asked someone out and then cheated on them the day of.
Of
Like,
course,
what's
she's
the
a female. She wants to know
backstory?
this.
I
Of
just want to
course.
know the backstory of that.
Yeah, go ahead with that, and then I'll tell
Okay,
you what I
so
think.
remember when I told you the story and I mentioned our high school slut?
Yeah.
This was the girl that I cheated with. So while I was pursuing my third girlfriend, we were in the talking phase. That's when I first made out with the girl that I call high school slut. That's when the skate park fight happens. So they already have a rivalry.
Yeah.
And I start making out with them both at the same time. And then
Of course.
so then I played a show and third girlfriend was there. And after the show, I was like, I was hanging out with her. So I was like, oh, do you want a girlfriend? Blah, blah, blah. She said yes. And then she had to go home. Well, then I went to Denny's after the show, like we all did. And high school slut girl was there. So then this just happens naturally.
But you asked someone to be your girlfriend like that day?
Yeah, like literally
Is
an
that what you
hour.
said?
Literally an hour before, yes.
That's terrible.
I've tried to tell you about this side of me, and you keep saying, oh, it doesn't sound that bad.
No, I knew it was going to be that bad.
Yeah,
You're a
I went to
musician. It's always
Denny's.
that bad.
I went to Denny's, and this girl, not only did I cheat on her with this girl, but this girl was like a hoodlum. And I remember we were all at Denny's, and the way we used to do it was it'd be like 100 kids from my show. We would all eat, and we would all pass around the money to like pay the one big tab. And the money got to me and this girl, and she was like, let's just take the money and go. So we took the money and left like the 100 kids in Denny's, and they all thought they paid, and they all left.
Oh my God.
It was hilarious. It was comical.
So none of the employees ran after him?
I don't know, because we were long gone by the time anyone else left.
Wow.
We took the money and she got booze, and then we got drunk, and then
That's crazy.
All right.
Good times.
Rob, you want me to tell you what I think about the story?
yeah, I'm down.
I think that you're a goddamn poet. I really do. I really do, man. I think that you have got the comical teenage sense of any Nietzsche or any, like, Carl Jung or any modern philosopher has in his goddamn, carry on. I really do, man. I think that you have got like a good sense for this type of shit. I really do. And Annie, like, from what you tell me, Annie's like a glorified fucking writer. I think, man, you and Annie can compete any day, dude. I really do, man. I think you guys could do some of my shit, man. We'd all be golden, dude.
if I spend more time on it, like if I take more than a fucking hour, I could write a really good story about some past relationships.
I'll tell you what, man, as far as like, structure for story goes, as far as, 5th grade taught me, man. I mean, you were just telling it, but man, you were reading it at the same time. I think you've got it. I really do. You I don't know how to describe how a modern story should be written, but I mean, dude, I think you've got it. I really do. That shit was dope. The way you put it. You know what I mean? Whether, the cheating and all that, whether that was, added to it or not, man, I think you fucking got it. I really do, man. I think it was a Beauty and the Beast type story. Yeah. I really do.
Well, shit, that's tight.
I swear to the Savior.
Do you have a story you want to tell?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell one. I don't know. And this is, this is on stream, right?
Yeah, you don't have to tell it.
No, I'll tell it. Fuck it. You know, I mean, it's not gonna be in any perspective of the way that I'll tell it another time. So fuck it. I'll tell you about one of the more recent ones, and dude, I haven't had too many, man. Like I said, I'm 21 years old, and you know, I don't know how much the average 21-year-old has, but I'm 21 and I'm me, so they can all go fuck themselves. So basically, um, yeah. I'll tell one of the more recent ones, and I guess I'll just connect to it. So I don't know, man. I'm at this weird age where women are like, wanting to get married and have kids and shit. I don't know. It's really weird. It's really weird to me, you know. And not to say that I'm an immature man by any means, you know. Kids are all cool with me, hanging out's all cool with me. I don't know what the fucking word would be, but so basically, like, I had this chick, me and my buddies, me and my basically best friends went to this and this isn't wrote down by any means, so it's not going to be as any type of poetic as what um disco put it here as, but um me and my buddies went to this club about 40 miles out that we usually go to, and I don't know, we went to high school and shit in my county, and there was this chick that went to my county or whatever, and she was this weird little chick, and she was really cool to me. She was really weird to everybody else, but I mean, I'm a really weird kid too, but she was really cool to me. So anyway, we met, like we re-met or whatever. Like I knew her in high school, but I smoked too much pot in high school to remember anybody pretty much. And about, I want to say in December, December 9th, and she would probably remember this, but in December 9th, I met her in this other town, this other county over, and we were all partying in this town, and everybody's who's anybody was in this town, or anybody who's in this town was anybody. They were in this place, but I'm not gonna give the place. I'm not gonna give the name, of course. But she was in this place, and she was in this town, and I was with my buddies, and it was almost Christmas, and it was a big dude dressed as Santa Claus walking around. It was funny, and we got to know each other or whatever. Again, she said she remembered me, and I told her I didn't remember her, pretty much, and she we basically hung out the rest of the night. And I'll tell you what, man, like I don't know you from Adam, Rob. Like I don't know how you get around females, man. I remember being this way around females in high school, but like I remember like I was so nervous around her, like I was like I got sick, and I was already a little, wasted or whatever, dude. But like I remember like I felt myself saying I have to go to the bathroom, like I have to puke right now because this chick is so appealing to me. Like I have to fucking vomit because she's so whatever it is that makes me attracted to her. You know what I mean? Whatever the chemical is. And I said, I've got to go puke right now. And I went and, vomited a few times or whatever. And I walked back, and I'm comfortable with saying that because I don't know how most guys are, but I know how I am. Um, I don't like, it was like just straight up attraction that made me so sick. And I remember walking back to her and telling her like, and me and my band of misfits, we're pretty fucked up. Where are you staying tonight? And she ended up eventually saying like, we stay at this college campus or whatever in town, and we go there um after a night of fucking drinks and this and that, and there's just like this club in the bar or whatever, and I try to avoid that every time I go in there. Fuck that place, it's disgusting. But we go back to her apartment, and we basically she allowed us to sleep there, and I mean it was great. And we went out to Waffle House the same night. I mean it was crazy. We shouldn't have went. Of course we could have gotten in trouble and we would have gotten pulled over and this and that. But I mean it was just a, I like to say it like because, and I still have these nights all the time. It's like a night in our youth. You can kiss my ass. It's just a night in our youth. We're just living. You know, and I mean, she was borderline pretty much sober. I think she'd only smoked a joint or whatever, smoked a blunt. But I mean, of course, me and my band were drunk. But we went to Waffle House, and then we went back. And we spent the night in her apartment, and then we left, and then it took me a few days to get her Snapchat, and then we got her Snapchat, and then I'm talking to her and this and that, and I mean it's simple as shit, y'all. I mean, I don't know why I'm splitting it up into many different column stories, but like I mean, she came back to my house and spent a few nights, and then this and that, and, you know, it was great. And she started ghosting me. I don't know. And then like a friend of hers told me she was in a relationship. And I mean, this was like literally the week I was talking to her. I didn't understand it. And then she pretty much got with this other guy. And I don't know what month it is in California, but it's July next month, and they said they're getting married in July, apparently.
Wait, how old are they?
They're like 20, 21.
No, it's not real marriage then. You're good.
Oh, I know. Of course. I know. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But like,
Yeah, no, you're good.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, it's not even I want to kill myself, dude. Oh my God, bro. Like, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Like, holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. Like, there was one before this, and of course I'll probably tell this story before, you know, or next time I get the chance. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, man. I really thought this was like, quote unquote, and of course you've been through it. I really thought this was the one. And Annie, you know, fuck your entire species. You know what I mean? But like, I really thought this was the one, Rob.
Yeah, I've had like the 3 at this point in my life.
I've had 2, man. I've had 2 that I really thought this might Jordan, this might be like your shit out of luck. This might be the one, you know.
No, you got till 25, honestly.
25?
Yeah.
25.
27, realistically, your mom will try to be nice and tell you you've got all the time in the world. Fuck that. That's not true. You got till 27 to find the person you're going to marry.
Yeah, 27, dude. I'm going to find me a Courtney Love. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I don't care if she kills me or not.
Hopefully she does. You'll die famous.
Exactly. Hopefully she does, man. She'll have built theoretical billions until the day she dies. But yeah, you know, hopefully I find me a Courtney Love, and hopefully one day she sees this, you know what I mean? And hopefully she's like, you know what? I like that weird little fucker with the long hair. You know what? And not even just you, Rob, like talking about me. I hope she says, you know what? I like that weird little fucker with the brown hair in Georgia, you know? You know, and I don't give a fuck if it never happens, man. But Jesus fucking Christ, man. I've been through 2 or 3 that I thought was the one, and they're not. And I'm still like, you know, we've had our own conversations, man. Me and you, Rob. Like, I'll say it on stream, man. I'm a bitch. You know what I mean? I believe in true love, same as you, dude. You know what I mean? And I'm
a sucker.
I'm a sucker, man. I'm a bitch.
I just told you about the Scarbiter ex-boyfriend in my fucking band practice, and
like,
I was like,
fuck, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm a piece of shit or whatever. I believe in true love. I don't know if I'll ever find it where I'm at now. And man, I'll tell you from what I've heard about you, I don't know if you'll ever find it where you are, man. Like,
no, not here.
Annie, what are the chicks like where you're at, man? What's Hollywood Boulevard like?
Kardashians?
Anything you could ever imagine.
Oh, I don't believe it. I feel like I've heard just about what I can imagine here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, you tell me. Like,
well, in LA, I know there's girls in LA that will let you move into their house with no money. Like, they'll work. They'll let you be like the Axl Rose sitting on their couch doing nothing.
Well, I'll tell you what, and this will be the giveaway for the chick if she ever watches this shit. She gave me 6 months. She said 6 months, and we're moving into a house together. And I think the main thing was I told the chick, like, you know, you're moving like way too fast. Look, like, I dig you. Like, you're really cool. Like, if it's any chick I would ever have a baby with or ever move into a house with, it would be you. So if you'd like shut the fuck up and give me 5 months, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be ready for it. But you're giving me way too much anxiety right now. And I think that's what did it. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Maybe, you know, California has a lot more living possibilities. I don't fucking know, man. Like,
yeah,
I was even willing to get I had a job at the moment, but I was even willing to get like a lot of money saved up for a crib and all this and that, man. But I don't know, man. I've already seen the pictures. I mean, she's getting married in a month.
Shit, one of my the ex-girlfriend I just told you the story about is like halfway through a pregnancy right now, and then my most serious ex-girlfriend just had a baby. Like, it's all over for me. So
See, dude, you're in your 30s, man. You've got chicks that you were with having babies, man. I've got friends of mine, right, that are like 2 or 3 years older, and they're not much older than me. They're nowhere near your age, man. And no offense to you, but like, it's like they're having kids, and I've got friends my age having kids, and I've got buddies that will invite me to the emergency room like 45 minutes after they have the kid, and then I've got friends that won't even tell me they're having the kid. So friends at that point, like, what does that equal? You know what I mean? Like, at that point you realize what true friends are. You know what I mean? Like, I've got motherfuckers that I was sitting next to in 5th grade having kids right now, and they don't even give a fuck to tell me, man. And I don't know. At that point, it's like, dude, fuck you. I could care less if you have a kid, but you're you and you're having a kid. You know what I mean? Like, you know how it is with when you have friends, man. It's like, dude, why didn't you even invite me? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what the fuck? I've got friends like I will be in the elevator on the way up to the room 30, 45 minutes after they have the kid, man. And I've got friends like that, I mean, literally 30 minutes ago when you texted me to get on the stream, man, I was holding his kid. And it's like, dude, I could give a fuck less about holding a baby. You know what I mean? I'm 21 years old. But if you're my best friend and you've had a kid and you're like telling me, dude, hold my baby, you know what I mean? And I'm holding your baby and I don't even know how to hold a fucking kid, dude. I don't have any experience with babies. And I'm sitting here holding a kid, man. It's like literally 45 minutes ago, Acid, dude, I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, what in the fuck? You had a kid, man. And no weird shit on the podcast, bro, but it's like, this is your sperm, dog. And I'm sitting here like fucking with his ass. He's like moving his hands around and shit. Like, this is too much time has passed by. You know what I mean? Too much time has passed by for sure. And I got motherfuckers that won't even invite me into the emergency room the day they're having the kid. And therefore, I ain't even had a kid yet. You know what I mean? It's gonna be weird, man. I don't know. And if clearly you haven't had a kid yet either. I mean, clearly it's gonna be weird for you too.
Yeah, I would imagine.
You know what I mean? Like, my dad described to me how it was the day while I was born. And I mean, dude, it's a freaky story every time he tells me. I mean, Annie, what experience have you had with, babies and getting babies delivered and shit? Like, what the fuck?
Nothing. I hate children, so
No
I stay
way. That's
far
awesome.
away. I'm very much anti-child at all
Like anti-child,
costs.
or like you're just scared of kids? Like, there's a difference.
No, I'm like anti-child. Like
No
I'm
way.
a big believer that like people should not be having kids.
Because why?
Like
I want
I've
to get
had
deep into this.
friends. Like if I have a friend that like has a kid, I'll just disappear. Like I have lost interest in the
No
friendship.
way.
Yeah, like I just think they are disgusting, and
That's like kind of cool.
because I just see people as like roaches, like
Oh yeah,
breeding, and it's
100%. No, I'm the
disgusting.
exact same fucking way. Like, as soon as people
So
touch me, I go away to clean myself.
I
I'm,
just am so
but Annie, like
repulsed.
you're like, I don't know. This is different for us, and forgive me for asking, but like, you're a different species completely than me and like Rob here. Like, you're a woman. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, cause I don't even know about kids. Period. Like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, you're a woman. Like, what's going on with you? Like,
I don't know.
like,
I've never grown up with children. I was never around
do
any.
you think it's but like most of the time, like, people decide they don't want kids because they think it's the end of the world. Like, do you think the world's close to an end? And not even no bullshit. Like, I'm
I
not
mean,
even playing with asking you.
yeah, I mean, like, why would you want to bring a child into this? Like, the
It,
shit
no, 100%.
sucks.
Exactly. It's not even that the end.
But
It's
like,
the end.
but
But like,
like,
it's definitely getting close for sure.
I also think like the concept of pregnancy is like fully disgusting. Like, I just think about that scene in
No
Alien
way.
where like the alien jumps out of the person's stomach. Like, it's just so repulsive. I think babies are just like absolutely atrocious.
But I don't know, Annie. Then again, and I'm a male. I'll never have the privilege or the burden of giving birth to a kid. I don't know what it's like. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I feel like Alien and the stomach busters. I feel like that's just like culture trying to get to you. You know what I mean?
No, I've never liked children. I mean, I remember being 5 years old and thinking babies were disgusting. I think
Like 100%
innately like
but
that.
like, Jesus Christ, like, you've got it. Like, eventually, you don't think you'll give it a shot? Like, with like,
Absolutely not. It's been 30 years. Like, I'm like, And I hate when people
And of
like
course, I'm
talk to
21
me
years
about
old.
it
I
too,
don't,
because I'm
you know what I
like,
mean? Of course, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm 21 years old. You know what I mean? But like talking to a person with experience in life, not just in children, but you know what I mean? Like I'm talking to somebody with experience right now. Like, what's going on in your brain? You know what I mean? And sorry to interrupt you, of course.
I mean, about what? Like I told you, like they're disgusting. Shit sucks. Like,
Of course, no doubt. They're,
yeah.
they're like little old people. They're like little old people. But I don't know. Like eventually, like I don't know, man. Like everybody I've known in my life has gotten to like, or not gotten to, but like had to. Basically, is what I've seen is had to go through the experience of raising a child, whether it be
But
my
I
parents or
but
my
I feel
grandparents.
like that's also a cultural thing because of
It's
where you
100%
are.
is
Like
traditional for sure.
In Los Angeles, like most of my friends do not have children. Like and they don't want any.
But you're
I
like
th-
in your what, early 30s?
yeah.
My dad didn't have a kid until he was like 35.
Yeah, well I just well, like
And of
I
course,
just
I'm not
it's
like,
all like
like permitting you to have a kid or anything, but like I'm just like, what the fuck? That's crazy. I've never heard that, like
and
before.
literally all my female friends think the same way as I do.
What do you think about that, Rob?
I'm a cheese ball. I always wanted to be married and have kids before I was 30, but I'm a
Like,
loser, so it didn't happen.
dude, me too. I don't know, like, what religion, and of course, not to pull this on stream. Of course, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. But like, what religion were you born into? And Annie, you too. Like, what like religion were you born into?
Oh, I don't
No,
Born
care.
in, that's a different
I
question than
didn't
what
I
you are
wasn't
now.
born into anything. My parents just told me to figure it out.
Your parents were pretty fucking cool, Annie. Seriously.
Yeah, my parents just they let me figure it out on myself.
I mean, of course, I don't know, like, from your perspective, if your parents are cool or not, but like from just that, point on, like, I feel like your parents were like, they had like the right idea.
Yeah. No religion is the way. Rob, what are you doing?
Dude, I just found out. I'm pissed. So the reason I didn't stream last Saturday is because I'm actually typing up I'm trying to do like a video essay kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually downloaded like an audio recorder, like I'd edit it, like an actual, here's an hour-long video of just me fucking talking. It's not live. It's me talking about one coherent subject. But I did it all on my Microsoft Word, and then I found out my Microsoft 365 or whatever expired, and I don't want to pay for it again, so I can't.
Oh, I had the same thing happen to me.
So you lost all
last-
that. So yeah, I lost all that writing.
Well, okay, no, so I had like the old Microsoft, and then yeah, they were saying like you have to update, but yeah, you have to pay. So
Speaking of
I
updates, and you have
paid.
to pay.
I think
I'm
it's like
gonna take a
$100
piss.
a year. So I just paid
I'll be
to
right back.
continue.
Very good. Yeah, I don't know when Microsoft started costing money.
Well, it always has. I mean, but it was like a one-time thing. Like I paid for Word a couple of years ago. It was like $100 forever, but now they changed it where you don't just get one program, you get the whole package,
get
and it's
all of them.
$100 a year.
Yeah, it is stupid.
I mean, like, what am I going to say no? Like, I need it, so I just have to do it.
No,
But-
I said no. I have Final Draft, which is like a screenplay writing for movies, but you can write normal stuff on it. So I just have to go back and forth between my old Word, because I can read, I can pull up what I wrote on Word, but I can't do anything with it. So I have to pull it up, go back to the other page, and type it all out again.
Yeah.
I'm doing a whole thing about or I want to do, the general complaint to people. The people say movies are all woke nowadays.
Yeah.
I want to do a whole video on that.
Okay.
Basically,
That'd be good.
in typical me fashion, where I agree and disagree with both sides. I think they're both stupid. I think movies today are shitty, but I don't think it's because they're woke. But I do think it's because they're telling their messages wrong. I think there's a proper way to put social commentary into your art instead of the way they're doing it today. I think they used to do it very well back in the day. Today, they do it horribly.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
But it's not because they're woke. I art's always been socially, that's how most art has social commentary. That's what artists do, but they're just doing it wrong nowadays. Yeah, I'm still typing it out.
For next week, do you want to do like a time you felt betrayed or angry or some kind of emotion?
Next week, you pick. I'm gonna finish my story, so I'm just gonna show up with the second half of my story next week.
Okay.
Are we
Um,
approaching the end of this segment?
Yeah, I gotta run
Yeah.
at like 8:30, and Annie usually gets off at like 7:30.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, does your story have like betrayal in it at all?
I could find it, I'm sure.
My
You
next
know
one
what?
does, for sure.
I mean, yeah, there's tons of like, yeah, basically.
I'll
sure.
do betrayal because I'm gonna probably for next week I'll probably write one that's like fiction for fun, and
You've
then
never had anybody betray you?
I have, but like
It was
I
actually a
just
small
wanna-
child, and this is why Annie hates children, because she was
That's
betrayed.
right. Oh, okay.
No, I have found no, I do have like real life stories, but it's always fun to like make up a story.
Of
That is
course.
true. No one's done fiction on here yet.
Well,
No,
yeah, I
that's,
mean, like
that's the thing. That's what I like when Annie does this type of shit. Cause like I could like say some real deal shit and just say, yeah, no, it's all fiction. Yeah, like fuck you guys. Yeah, it's all fiction.
well, we need to bring Jay back because he had fiction
course.
stories that were so funny.
And Jay was like the writer, right?
No, that's Matt.
That's Matt.
Yeah,
Okay.
Matt said Matt said apparently he's gonna come next week. He had another
Jay
today.
is the original you, actually. Jay is this fucking delinquent from
Delinquent. Fuck you. Like, what do you
No,
mean?
Jay's like a real deal. He's like a 19-year-old. He's like a real deal delinquent. He's awesome.
That's great. I hope you describe me as like a
I
badass
loved
fucking
his-
delinquent to people.
I loved his story about the guy that jacked off in an airplane. That was
That
funny.
was him?
Yeah.
He's genius then. He's genius. But no, that was some shit that I enjoyed.
Yeah, you were in the chat for that, huh?
Yeah, no.
That was
I
so
remember
funny.
talking to you about that one.
That was good.
Yeah, he
No.
did the jack off in an airport.
Well, maybe we can get
That was
him
genius.
to come in next week to give a story about some kind of betrayal between two people.
He told me he's trying to black out tomorrow, so I could ask him to write something tomorrow.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Because, I forgot whose quote it was, but you write drunk and edit sober. You know what I mean? And I like to follow that. You write drunk and then you edit sober.
I could see that.
You know what I mean? Like, I forgot if it was a Nietzsche quote or like Carl Jung, but like it was one of them. You know what I mean?
Sounds good.
No, for sure.
So for next week, we'll talk about betrayal, whether it's a fictionalized story or something you've been through. And then I'll
just
make a post this weekend.
Annie, I swear to God, I hate your prompts because it's like I could make up one so easy, but it would be so much more cynical if I wrote one like on some shit I've already been through, and I hate that. I swear to God.
Sorry.
And of course, no, it's great. You know what I mean? Like that's like deep. Like of course you're like a writer to be. You know what I mean? Like that's what I got to do. You know what I mean? To be on this fucking podcast. You know, to meet y'all's standards and y'all's bar. You know what I'm saying?
I am bad at the prompts, but I like them because they're
good, right?
I mean, like
they're awesome.
if I had a choice, I like to do like story prompts, like when we did the end of the world one, but I normally pick like a description one because you guys like to talk about like real life stories.
I'm a cheese ball.
But yeah, 100%. I'm a cheese ball too, I guess you could say.
Any chance I can write about ex-girlfriends, I will take it.
Okay.
And I've only had like 2 deep ones, man. So I guess I'm gonna use like the second one, like the first one, of course, as like a topic subject. You know what I mean? Because that's like a topic of betrayal. Like one of my last deep Twitter like fucking like rails was like a topic. Like I was like it was just like a Twitter post. I was like I have no problem with rejection. My problem lies with betrayal. You know, some dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's as simple as that. I have no problem with rejection. My problem lies with betrayal. Therefore, I have a problem. Therefore, this would be a perfect conversation to talk about on Annie and Rob's podcast. This would be great. You know what I mean?
All right. So I'm going to go because it's almost 8 p.m. here. And
Of
Rob
course.
got to run and I got to go do my stuff. So,
Of
okay,
course.
I will see you all next week. I will post a prompt this weekend.